Hey everyone, it's Rafael here from Rafael Productions, and I'm going to be showing you how to do Adam's song by blink-182, and we'll be using standard tuning, okay? So the last thing that I do, so I know that there are other tabs out there that kind of make you tune your guitar down, but at the same time, if you want to just leave it at this without having to go through that trouble, well, it's gonna be very simple. The only thing that I'm worried about is the intro and the section right before the pre-chorus, but let's go ahead and show you the intro first of all, because like, look, I mean, the tabs will be on screen as always, so they will also get right into the chords, the next section where we do the verses as well, and then the pre-chorus and then the actual chorus, but let's go ahead and show you how to play the intro. So if you're used to the other version of Adam's song where you tune your guitar down, this might be a little bit weird at first, but it should become easier as you do it over time. So let's go and do it right now. So I'll simply show you how it goes. I'll play it slowly so that you can see the way I change my fingering. Okay, so it'll be like this. I'll zoom in as well. Yeah, so very, very different from how it usually is in other tabs. So the way to simply do that is just to get the your pinky finger right on the 5th fret on the low E, and this middle finger should go down to the A string on the 3rd fret, and then your index finger down on the the D string on the 2nd fret, and pay attention to the way how I strum it. It'll go. So I'm actually going to the 1st string on the top, and then the 3rd string, and then down to the 1 on the 3rd fret, which is going to be so. All right, so notice the way I change. Okay, obviously I'll be playing it slowly so you can see the way I change it. So it'll be. Now I want you to notice the last time, well, the very last part here, I do something like this, where I am. See the way I lift up my index finger on the 3rd repetition, and I put it back down on the 1st, 2nd, and 4th. Well, that's like the only difference you gotta do. So for the first two, where we do this and this, you're gonna repeat that twice, so you're gonna go ahead and do this again, slowly. And then this. Then repeat that again. Repeat that, this is the intro. If you know, you repeat that twice before going straight to the strumming patterns and everything. So let's go ahead and I've only shown you so far the first one, let's go ahead and do the second one now. So here you only have to worry about the 2nd and 3rd fret for this. I'm gonna simply use the low E with the middle finger. I'll zoom in so you can see where my fingers are, and this kind of goes down to the A string, the ring finger, and then the index finger goes directly to the D string, and you're gonna do this again. So it'll be exactly the same pattern as we did in the first one. The only difference is that we have to move our fingers like this. So let's go ahead, and you should have this so far, all right? It'll be. So every 2 repetitions, you change it. So, and then once you got that down, so that's pretty simple. Once you got that down, now comes the last one where we go from here, we change it to this. All right, so the way we do that, your finger placement is a little weird for this, but like I said before, if it ever gets confusing, the tab is on screen on the top, as with every other guitar video I've made. Your index finger goes to the 1st fret of the low E, and then your ring finger, it's going to be on the 3rd fret of the A, and your middle finger on the D, all right? On the 2nd fret, let me also say that, make that clear, okay? So This one you kind of repeat 4 times before we go right back to the first one, okay? So it'll be, let's go ahead and do it right now. So don't forget, in the 3rd repetition, you lift up, so it'll be, so I'll do one more time so you can see the way it should go. Then back to the first one. Then, yeah, so that's pretty much all you gotta do for the intro. It's very, very simple. Well, I mean, like I said before, if you're used to the other one, it can be a little bit weird at first, but your finger placement, all you gotta really do is just stretch out that pinky. Now, if you're a new guitar player, this can be a little bit weird at first, but just keep on doing it and you should strengthen that muscle and it will become much easier later on. So let's go ahead now and go straight to the strumming. Alright, so let's go to the next section. Yep, so this is gonna be the strumming pattern. Well, if you know the timing of this, you can also use the bar chord version of this. Like, I know some tabs will make you do that, but let's just go ahead and use the let's just use these, because if you're on an acoustic, this will be much easier to play. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so right before the pre-chorus comes in, where you do something like this, yeah, we don't have to worry about that for now, because that's for later. So all you gotta do, the chords you'll be playing are just simply C, F, and A minor, okay? So now, like, all of these comes down to timing as well, but let's go ahead and just show you the C chord first. That's the first one you play, so it's right after the intro. So after this whole thing, you know, after the intro, just gonna go right to C, and then F is gonna be like this. We're gonna well, we do C first. It's gonna be in the 3rd fret, where we hold our ring finger down on the A string on the 3rd fret. Middle finger goes down on the D string on the 2nd fret, and down on the B string on the 1st fret is your index finger, and that should simply give you this kind of sound. Now, if you want to do the bar chord, you're gonna simply do this. Alright, now the next one we're going to do is an F, where we do, where that's simply, see the way you play an E, just going to move that down, and at the same time we're going to bar the entire 1st fret. So it's going to be simply an F, like this. Yeah, so once you do that, you're going to do an A minor. Now, an A minor chord is going to be where you put your ring finger down in the D string, and so on the same fret, the 2nd fret, you put your ring finger directly underneath that. So I'm zooming in so you can see my finger placement as well. And my ring finger stays on the you call it the B string, just like how you play the C, right? So your index finger does not move at all. When you're gonna switch to that, you simply move your 2 other fingers, and that should be an A minor. So let's go ahead and do the first 3 chords again. That's the first line where he goes, "I never thought I'd die alone, I laughed the loudest, who'd have known," right? That's what he sings the first time. That's the chords you gotta play for that. Now, feel free to go ahead, because I know I'm teaching the very first few lines, but the actual chords are on top, as always, like how I usually do it on my other guitar videos. I have the tabs, then also the chords. So if you already know your finger placement for each one, just feel free to continue on, but let's go ahead and get right into the next, okay? So after you've got that down, so you've got the first 5, this is how it should sound like, all right? Let me go ahead and play it right now. And then continue on. yeah, so very simple. Now this will be linked in the description below if you still need help with the timing. So like I said before, just listen to the song a lot so that you know when exactly to start changing. Now I would recommend you do downward strumming like this. Because in my opinion that sounds the best, all downward strumming, but you can get creative and play around with it as well if you are familiar with the timing and everything. So that will be down in the description below as well, so you can see the exact chords I used for this. So the tab as well will also be in the description below. And let's go ahead now. So we'll get into the chorus in a minute. Let's go ahead and get right into the pre-chorus now. Alright, so the pre-chorus, we're gonna go put our ring finger on the 5th fret. It's gonna be on the D string, okay? And bar this. You'll go, then you do, alright, so very simple. I'll zoom in again so you can see the way I do it. I'm gonna do it slowly so that you can see the way it goes. So this comes right before the pre-chorus, okay? So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'll zoom in again like this. Then gonna see the way I do it, like the way I do the intro, you're gonna kind of move that all down one string. So instead of like barring the low E with the ring finger, your little finger, put that down to the A string, and your middle finger, put it down to the D string. So just kind of moving it all down. So pretty much you do it like that, all right? So it'll be, then you move up, and that should be like this. Then back again. Repeat that twice before the pre-chorus, okay? So let me go ahead and do it in slow motion. So it's like this part can get confusing, so I will do it slowly so you can see my finger placement. Like I said before, the tab is on screen, all right? So then do this. Alright, now then after you do that, so let me go ahead and start from the last two, so let's go ahead and do it again. Alright, so that's the chorus. Now the only thing different, because we have C, F, and A minor, but we're also going to add a D minor now. So let me go ahead and show that to you. D minor is simply like this. Or if you want to do the bar chord, you can also do this, but so it goes like this. So just like an A, you just go and put it down, and for a D minor, you're going to add your middle finger down to the B string. But I think I like this sound better, so just simply stick with this, where we put our middle finger down on the 2nd fret, and this ring finger should be down on the B, and the high E is what's going to be covered with your index finger this time. So you zoom in so you can see how it looks like, and also it should sound like this. So this after that little section, you're going to go ahead and play the C first, all right? So starting off from where we left off last time, it's going to be. Alright, there we go. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you the full chorus in a minute, but let me show you first. How it should. The strumming pattern should be very similar to the verses. Now, like I said before, the only thing different is really the D minor, which is the 2nd chord this time. Instead of the F, it's the D minor. You gotta play instead of the F. All right. Let's go ahead and do that now. Again, on screen right now, so it'll be. I'll play slowly as well. So. yeah, it's a full chorus, and once you've got that all down, the rest of the song is pretty much the same. So be sure to again take a look at the thing down below so you can see the timing for each word, and at the same time get this part mastered down, because like the harder parts is the intro and the section right before the pre-chorus. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it slowly so you can see it again. So this comes after the chorus, alright? So it'll be alright, so then that's the next verse is the same as the first verse, alright, in terms of the chords. And then once you've got all that down, and this one as well, because you gotta get this part down as well, this part where you go, and then like I said before, don't forget that the rest of it is the same. Okay, so once you got all that down, you can practice that as well in your spare time. Make sure that you bar this, because it will sound wrong if you like accidentally, let's say like you made it sound like this, for example. I guess it can kind of give a crackling noise. Now I noticed that it kind of crackled as well, but that's simply just probably me not barring hard enough. But yeah, so probably like this. I know that the hard part for me personally is controlling the pinky finger, but this gets easier over time as well if it's your first time doing it. Because like I said before, this is the standard tuning version of Adam's songs, so it can get a little bit weird the first time you do it, but overall this should be easier over time. Okay, so hopefully this helped you out as well in terms of playing. So now when you play this song, you don't actually have to you don't have to tune your guitar all the way down. You can stay in standard tuning. Yeah, so you can suggest me a song down below, what else you want me to try, and I'll see you in my next guitar video. So Rafael out.